Hi guys, I'm Kyle Kargas. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a real estate investor, agent, and entrepreneur. We do house flips, Airbnbs, long-term rentals, everything that you can think of when it comes to single family houses. We are going to be starting to get into multifamily and commercial, so if you have any good deals on those, let us know. However, today's video is going to be part of a larger series where I give tips to different parts of a house, the actual rehab and remodeling parts, where I want to give you tips so that way when you go do your renovations, you can keep these in mind to make sure that your buyer ends up super happy and you get top dollar for it. Today's video, we're going to be focusing on the kitchen. The two most important parts of the whole kitchen is going to be the cabinets and the countertops. If the cabinets are old, grungy, and dated, or the countertop is that old tile with grout and everyone's worried that there's food stuck in there, yeah, it's gross. So don't keep those. Almost always I would put brand new countertops. In fact, these countertops should be quartz. Granite was the most popular back in the day, which you could still do at times and in certain budget neighborhoods. However, quartz costs about the same. It's extremely durable. It puts off a more modern look. It's stain resistant, and we actually do put quartz in every house flip of ours. Now, when it comes to the cabinetry, you're gonna have a little bit more flexibility there. There's gonna be times where you might be able to keep the old cabinetry and just refinish it, and other times where it's a full gut, you need to pull it all out and put new in there. Obviously, if you're completely changing the whole layout, you're not gonna have much of a choice and you're gonna put all brand new cabinets in. But if you can keep the layout, then you might be able to keep the cabinets, refinish them, and they can look fantastic. The most important part is to check your comps or your comparables. What are the other fixed up houses selling for in that neighborhood for the price that you want to get for yours? If they're just refinishing, then go ahead and refinish. If they're gutting all the kitchen and putting brand new ones in, you need to do the same. Obviously, as the price goes up, more and more likely that you just need to rip them out and put new cabinets in. If you do those two things, you are already on your way to having a great kitchen. All right, the next part is going to be the flooring. Now remember, in the kitchen, there's water. There's the sink, you might be doing dishes, there might be a spill, right? The flooring needs to be waterproof. I'd recommend doing LVT, luxury vinyl tile. In fact, we do it throughout the whole house, so it all looks the same, but at least make sure you do it in the kitchen. It's inexpensive, it's extremely durable, it's waterproof, and it looks great and gives it a very modern, updated look. That is where I would start, and there's plenty of different options you can choose from for the look that you're going for. Remember, check the comps and do what you see, because that is what's gonna get you the same amount of money that those sold for. Now, the next tip is going to be to look to see how much of an open concept kitchen you can have. Sometimes the kitchen is already open enough that you don't have to move anything around. You want to do this obviously before you order cabinets so you know what to order. But if there's a wall that's not structural, that's not holding up the house, that will improve the flow and functionality of the space, it might be something you want to consider. An open concept kitchen is extremely valuable for today's buyer. Now, when it comes to appliances, my rule of thumb is no matter what, you get stainless steel appliances, because there's a big step in people's minds whether it's stainless steel or not. And most people aren't aware of any other trends beyond just being stainless steel. So if you're in the median price range or less, I would definitely do stainless steel, but I would do entry level. I wouldn't spend any more than that. If the house is more and more expensive than your median price point, you need to look at those comps and find out, are they putting in the nicer gas stove? Are they spending a lot more on those? What are you competing with, and what do those buyers expect in your price range? It is super critical that you keep those in line with what a buyer expects. Now, the next tip is going to be about something that's noticeable yet unnoticeable. It's lighting. It's unnoticeable because it's not big like cabinets, countertops. You're not visually, yeah, you can see the can lights up there if you look up there, right? But you're not really seeing something. It doesn't take up a bunch of space. One of the biggest differences is lighting up the whole kitchen. So you're actually going to go overboard when it comes to the can lights. Yeah, that sounds like a lot. It is a lot. But man, it's bright everywhere. It's easy to work. You actually just feel happier. If you go into an old home, you don't always notice it because you get used to it. When you only have one light hanging from a fan, everywhere else just feels a little sad. So put plenty of can lights, make sure that they're daylight light bulbs, as that's the latest trends, and light the place up. You can do extra things like under-mounted lighting if you want in certain price ranges, but they're definitely not required. The can lights is what people want, and we want lots of them. Now, an extra tip, if there's already a window in the kitchen, hopefully there is, a lot of houses there is, you can either make the window bigger if it fits well with the cabinetry, or if there's not a window, you might be able to add one, because having natural light as well will complement the can lights. However, what I've also found in the times when I can't get that window, if you just have enough can lights, you're probably good. But people love natural light when they can get it. All right, now that brings us to the kitchen sink. 12 to 13 years ago, my wife and I bought our first house together. We were remodeling the kitchen and she made me go buy a large farmhouse sink. Now, farmhouse was just the style of the sink, but it was one large bowl. The biggest difference between dated sinks and new modern sinks is two bowls or two sides for old, and now everybody wants one large bowl because they want to put their large pots, their large pans all the way into the sink. So go get one large sink and you'll be okay. I get asked all the time about storage. Yes, make sure there's a pantry, but in the kitchen, storage when it comes to specialty, like a Lazy Susan, like a spice rack, a wine rack, and all of those types of things, unless you're doing high-end or a house for yourself, don't bother. You're not getting any extra money for those, so save your money. Now, extra bonus tip, yes, get soft closing drawers and cabinet doors. Buyers are looking specifically for those, and they will absolutely pick your home over another home just because of it. This brings it down to our last one, the finishes. This is super important because we need the buyers to have an experience when they walk in the house and not just say, oh, looks great, let's go look at the next one. Make sure it's modern. You're gonna be putting pendant lights. You're gonna be putting hardware on the kitchen cabinets. So make sure you get more modern ones and more trendy and updated versions. It doesn't cost necessarily a lot more to make them a little bit more modern. So be wise with your money, but this is where you want to spend maybe just a little bit more to make sure you get that experience. Those are my tips for a kitchen to help you renovate yours to make sure the buyer absolutely loves it and gives you top dollar. Let me know in the comments down below which tip was your favorite. Which one have you missed the last time you fixed up a kitchen? And which one are you gonna make sure you do on the next one? All right, this is just one in a series. So go check out the other videos in the series and I'll catch you in those ones. Peace.